Blondies are one of the easiest recipes to make, require hardly any mixing, but always turn out perfect. With their crackly top and gooey centers, it's hard to stop at just one. Welcome to Recipes by Carina, where I show you how to make classic and simply delicious recipes. Make sure to subscribe for a new video each week. To make these blondies, the first thing you need to do is melt the butter. I'm doing this in a saucepan over medium heat, but you can also do this in the microwave if that's easier. If you would like the recipe for these blondies, it will be on my website as well as the full measurements listed in the description box below. I'll also have a link to my favourite kitchen equipment, so if you see anything I'm using, you know where to find it. One way to enhance your blondies is to brown the butter, which gives them a much more nuttier and deeper flavour. I'm sharing with you the basic recipe, so I'm not going to do that here, but I find it works really well if you decide to add nuts to your blondies. When your butter is completely smooth, tip it into a large mixing bowl. To the melted butter, measure out 2 cups or 400 grams of light brown sugar. You can substitute dark brown sugar here, your blondies will just have a much more deeper flavour. I wouldn't recommend using just white granulated sugar though, as it doesn't carry much flavour. The light brown sugar has the added benefits of molasses, which in this recipe turns everything deliciously caramelly. Blondies are a classic favourite, but if you're after something more chocolatey perhaps, make sure to take a look at my fudgy chocolate brownies, which will be linked in the description box below. Mix together the melted butter and sugar until combined. No creaming in this recipe, which I love, as all you need is a bowl and a wooden spoon. Next, crack in 2 medium-sized eggs into the mixing bowl, mixing well in between each addition until they are fully incorporated. If you store your eggs in the fridge like I do, you need them to be at room temperature for this recipe, so just remove them about 30 minutes or so before you start baking. The mixture should get thinner in consistency with each egg added. Just mix enough with the wooden spoon, no need for a whisk here until the eggs are incorporated. There's no need to really beat them in, as with blondies we don't want to be incorporating any air or leavener like baking powder into the batter. When your eggs are mixed in, add about a teaspoon of vanilla essence or extract. Both work, it just depends on which you prefer to use. The vanilla works really well with the caramelly flavour of the blondies here, but you can also experiment with something like almond essence and adding a handful of almonds to the batter. Give everything a final mix before we add the remaining ingredients. From here, all we need to do is add the dry ingredients straight into this bowl, and the only dry ingredient we need is flour. Measure out your flour, all-purpose, standard or cake flour will work here, 2 cups worth. I'm using salted butter in this recipe, but if you're not, make sure to also add about half a teaspoon of salt with your flour. This blondie recipe has almost the exact same type of ingredients that cookies do. You might be wondering what makes this different than cookies or brownies from cake. The simple explanation for that is the ratio of flour to fat. Brownies and blondies have a high fat ratio, meaning they're gooey and dense compared to cake, which is usually light and fluffy. Don't get mixed up between dry and tough here. Dense and gooey means they're full of moisture, but also chewy and just plain delicious. Use your spoon to combine the ingredients together until the flour is almost incorporated. And now comes the fun part, additions. There are no rules here, add anything you would like, chocolate chips, nuts, dried fruit, even something like Oreo pieces. I'm going standard for blondies with a cup of white chocolate chips. Add them to the bowl and mix again until evenly incorporated. Add your batter into a lined square tin, pressing it to the sides, and bake in a 180°C or 350°F oven for 30 minutes. It may look underdone at this time, but you don't want it to bake any longer. Leave it to cool before slicing into squares and enjoy. Let me know what your favourite addition would be to Blondies. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe for a new video each week, and I will see you in my next video.